From our Washington, D.C. studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Hena Zuberi. Grim discoveries in Rafah. Palestinian medics found executed, hands tied. Israel denies targeting medics, but photos tell a different story. This and much more coming up in today's show. Our top story today: 4 Republican senators joined Democrats to reject President Donald Trump's tariffs on Canadian imports. The Senate passed a resolution 51-48 on Wednesday, showing disapproval of Trump's 25% tariffs on Canada. Though non-binding, the vote is a clear political rebuke. Republican Senators Rand Paul, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and Mitch McConnell broke ranks and supported the resolution. It came just hours after Trump announced a 10% tariff on all imports, with more hikes targeting the EU, China, Vietnam, and Japan. Collins said she was deeply concerned about hitting allies like Canada. Murkowski said she voted for Alaska, where people fear rising prices from tariffs. Trump did not personally reach out to either senator before the vote. Senator John Thune urged Republicans to vote no, calling the resolution a Democratic ploy to embarrass Trump. He argued tariffs were needed to pressure Canada to border control drug issues. Democrats warned the tariffs threatened 6.5 million U.S. jobs. Trump's tariffs also include steel, aluminum, and energy imports from Canada. The resolution aims to roll those back, even if it has no legal force. Jewish students chained themselves to Columbia University's gates on Wednesday. They were protesting the arrest of Columbia University graduate Mahmoud Khalil, demanding answers from university trustees. Police cleared the area, removing media and students. Officers used cutting tools to break the chains. Khalil, who was a lawful permanent resident in the United States, was arrested in New York last month as he was returning from an iftar dinner with his wife. He was sent to an ICE detention center in Louisiana. 2 other students, Ali Raza Daroudi and Romeisa Ozturk, were both of those who were on valid student visas in the United States, were also detained and transferred to facilities in Jannah and Basile. Their lawyers say they were not informed about the transfers. A judge has blocked the Trump administration's attempt to fire 19 intelligence officials involved in government diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Judge Anthony Turenga ruled they must remain on the payroll during their appeals and while seeking reassignment. The employees are from the CIA and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. The judge said future dismissals are still possible, but paused the process for now. Meanwhile, the U.S. Naval Academy removed nearly 400 diversity-related books on orders from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. The moves are part of the President Donald Trump's broader efforts to eliminate diversity initiatives across all federal agencies, schools, and the military. Critics warn it could reverse decades of progress on racial and social equity. Gaza's Civil Defense Agency says that in Rafah, Palestinian rescue workers have been found with hands tied and bullet wounds to their heads. The bodies of 8 medics were discovered near their destroyed vehicles. They were wearing orange uniforms used by emergency crews. Some were found with feet also tied and clear signs of execution-style killing at close range. One body was decapitated. The incident occurred during Israeli attacks on March 23rd. Israel claimed the vehicles moved suspiciously without coordination and that 9 militants were killed. But photos later showed the vehicles clearly marked as ambulances, fire trucks, and a UN vehicle. A UN staff member and 5 civil defense workers were among the dead. The civil defense is calling for an international probe into the killings. Meanwhile, Israel's strikes continue across Gaza. Since dawn, Israel has killed 41 Palestinians, including 9 in Gaza's city's Shujaiya neighborhood. Homes and tents in Khan Yunis and Gaza City were also hit, with 15 people wounded. In the past 24 hours, Israel has killed 97 Palestinians. Since March 18, when Israel broke the ceasefire deal, the death toll stands at 1,163. Hospitals are overwhelmed, and medicine, fuel, and supplies are critically low. The health ministry warns that pregnant women, children, and elderly are most at risk. Israel has also bombed an UNRWA medical facility in Jabalia, killing 22 people. Gaza's health ministry says that at least 50,423 Palestinians are confirmed dead and 114,638 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza since October 2023. Tesla sales plunge 13%, declining demand and protests over Elon Musk's government role fuel investor concerns. What's next for the EV giant? This and much more after the break. Welcome back. A man has been arrested on a hate crime charge at Rutgers University's Center for Islamic Life in New Jersey during Eid al-Fitr last year. Jacob Beecher was charged with disrupting religious practice and lying to federal agents. He's accused of breaking into the Islamic Center early last April, damaging sacred items including Quran-inscribed objects. He's also accused of stealing a Palestinian flag and a donation box. The estimated damage is approximately $40,000. Beecher, who is not linked to Rutgers, was caught on surveillance committing the crimes. His phone was later tracked near where the stolen donation box was found. The break-in came amid rising tensions over Israel's genocide in Gaza. Rutgers University strongly condemned the attack, saying hatred and violence have no place on campus. Atiya Aftab, chair of the center, called it an act of terror, but said it would not break the community's spirit. A federal judge has ordered the government to restore legal aid for 26,000 unaccompanied migrant children. Judge Araceli Martinez Algoen in San Francisco blocked the administration's plan to end its contract with the Acacia Center for Justice, which provides legal support to migrant minors. The ruling prevents children from losing vital legal help as they face complex immigration proceedings. The plan was brought by Acacia's subcontractors who say a 2008 anti-trafficking law requires legal support for these vulnerable children. Advocates argue many of the children are too young, traumatized, or just don't speak English, making legal aid essential. The judge agreed, saying legal support boosts fairness and efficiency in the migration system. The ruling is temporary and lasts until April 16th. The government claims it ended the contract due to budget cuts and insists legal groups can still offer free help. But critics argue the administration must have a plan to protect the children. Karen Trumlin of the Justice Action Center emphasized in court that administration cannot simply revoke funding without ensuring an alternative plan. Jonathan Ross of the Department of Justice countered that legal aid groups remain free to offer their services pro bono. However, plaintiffs insist that $5 billion in congressional funding allocated for legal representation must be honored. Senator Rand Paul has slammed tariffs, calling them an economic fallacy. Speaking on the Hill, he said tariffs are just taxes, and taxing trade means less of it. He pointed to 70 years of U.S. prosperity tied to increased global trade. Paul's remarks come as President Donald Trump plans new import taxes, including a 25% tariff on foreign cars. Trump has also urged Republicans to support tariffs on Canada to penalize the country for fentanyl imports. Paul, however, stood firm against the plan, warning that tariffs will hurt, not help the economy. The Indian Parliament has passed the controversial Waqf Amendment Bill to supervise and manage Muslim endowments nationwide. In the lower house of Parliament, called Lok Sabha, the law was adopted by 288 to 232 votes. The bill amends the law governing more than 600,000 Muslim endowments, mosques, madrasas, graveyards, and orphanages. Muslim leaders say it paves the way for government control and potential land grabs. Critics also say that the Waqf bill fits into a broader Hindutva agenda to erase Islamic heritage in India. Muslim endowments have increasingly been repurposed for Hindu temples or commercial use. Key changes include mandatory inclusion of non-Muslims as members of Waqf boards, tighter government oversight, and powers to reclassify endowment land. The legislation also stipulates only a practicing Muslim for the past 5 years can donate property to Waqf. There is, however, no mention of how to determine a practicing Muslim. The law also excludes new converts from participating in charity. Muslim groups call it a direct attack on their religious autonomy. Muslim MP Asaduddin Qureshi tore a copy of the bill in protest, calling it an attempt to make Muslims second-class citizens. The All India Muslim Personal Law Board rejected the bill as discriminatory and plans to challenge it in court. Legal experts warn that the bill violates constitutional rights and could accelerate the expropriation of Muslim properties. This is especially the case in states governed under the ruling Hindu nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party, or BJP. The move follows years of action seen as targeting Muslims, ranging from revocation of Kashmir's autonomy and the Citizenship Amendment Act, which were both passed in 2019, to anti-encroachment drives that have demolished Muslim homes. Despite protests, the government of Prime Minister Narendra Modi claims that the bill ensures accountability and transparency. Muslim groups have called for nationwide resistance, warning of an uncertain future for India's 200 million Muslims if the bill becomes law. Tesla's vehicle sales have dropped by nearly 13% in the first quarter of 2025. The company delivered 336,681 vehicles, falling short of analysts' expectations of around 350,000. That's a sharp fall from more than 386,000 deliveries in the same period last year. Experts say demand for Tesla's electric cars continue to weaken. Protests at Tesla dealerships in the US and Europe also are making headlines. They're linked to CEO Elon Musk's role in the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. DOGE has backed deep government cuts under President Donald Trump, costing thousands of federal jobs. Politico reports that Trump may soon remove Musk from his post. all this comes as Tesla faces growing pressure and investor concerns. In a major step to strengthen regional markets, the stock exchanges of Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh have signed a landmark deal. The Dhaka Stock Exchange, Pakistan Stock Exchange, and Colombo Stock Exchange linked a tripartite memorandum of understanding in Sri Lanka's capital, Colombo, on Thursday. The agreement focuses on technology sharing, joint product development, regulatory coordination, and investor protection. It also aims to improve human resources and promote knowledge exchange across 3 markets. DSE Chairman Momin al-Islam, CSE Chairman Dilshan Wirasakira, and Security and Exchanges Commission of Pakistan Chairman Akif Saeed attended the signing. Officials believe collaboration will help overcome challenges in smaller South Asian markets and unlock their full potential. DSE Chairman Momin al-Islam said unlike India, other South Asian markets struggle with size-related technological and operational barriers. He stressed that sharing experience and joint investments can build stronger, more efficient capital markets in the region. The deal marks a new chapter in regional financial cooperation. That's all from our Washington, D.C. studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, please keep watching Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum.